So Saints at the Patriots here. This thing is very interesting as we have seen this line move pretty significantly. It is still 2.5 in favor of the Patriots at a couple of books. It's back up to 3 at a couple of books as well. One of the lower totals of the week at 42.5, depending on where you look at it. I do have a bet on this one as well. Stephen, you do make a note in here about the Saints team where, listen, it is, and a lot of this plays into my handicap and the reason I made the bet that I made in this game, but this is a displaced team that hasn't been home in coming on 2 months now since the hurricane went through, practicing at a foreign practice field, going into foreign locker rooms, not having the comforts of, their own houses and apartments and restaurants they like to go to and all the different things like that. And so for me, it's not necessarily a handicap of this where I think that there's so much big of a difference between the Saints and the Patriots as it is that the Saints are just in a really, really bad spot here.
Yeah, just these are still human beings that we're talking about. And logistically, this is a very difficult situation. This will be the third straight week now where they are away from home and having to deal with all this. They had what looked like half of their coaching staff with a COVID outbreak a week ago. They were dealing with that as well. Basically, everything that could have broken their way week one against the Packers did, with a lot of things that we didn't think were sustainable. And in fact, they weren't against the Carolina Panthers. So against a very well-coached team in the New England Patriots that knows what it's going to do and is going to execute, I just have concerns here, especially if this number is to slip under a field goal, which it looks like it has in some places, the Saints plus 2.5.
Yeah, so Brad, I took the Patriots at 2.5. Like I said, it dipped to 2.5 here in Vegas. It's back up to 3 at most places. There are 2.5s available in the rest of the country. So if you're in one of the jurisdictions that has all these different books, by all means, look around. If you wanted to bet the Patriots, there is a 2.5 still available. There are 3s if you want to go with the Saints. Am I making too much of this whole thing of them not being home and not being able to get in any sort of rhythm, any sort of comfort zone? Like I said, I don't necessarily think that it's a deal that the Saints are that much worse than the Patriots are. And I understand it's still a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones is going to be starting for the Patriots, but we saw what Bill Belichick did to Zach Wilson. And now he's getting Jameis Winston coming off of one of his bad Jameis games yet again. I don't know. It just seems to me like if I could get under a field goal with the Patriots, I went ahead and jumped on it.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, is the answer. They got 6 first downs last week, which is the same as the Broncos got when they had that wide receiver playing quarterback. Yes, that is an all-time bad game. All-time bad game from the Saints. Now, is that the travel stuff that you're talking about? Is that not having any offensive coaches? So something's gone horribly wrong, and I don't know whether to go, look, they didn't have any coaches, they had a bad travel spot and forget about it, or go, this is catching up with them, they're crap. So I don't really know. They're getting healthier on defense. They're going to have Lattimore, CJ Gardner-Johnson back, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, whatever his name is. They're getting a few pieces back in the secondary. But I think they're still going to be missing the center, Eric McCoy. Now, again, if you watch that tape back against the Panthers, there was 3 blitzers all over the place. And they were talking about we didn't have communication to pick up these blitzers. And Belichick's going to watch that, and I would imagine they'll get a lot of the same. So, yeah, I could probably see the Saints struggling again, but again, a lot of uncertainty.